Hey everyone, this is Rab News Animation Bliss, and welcome to another underrated and obscure cartoon corners. So today's underrated cartoon I'll be talking about today is The Thief and the Cobbler. Now I don't have the actual DVD, but I do have it in this kids pack, and this is the movie right here, The Thief and the Cobbler. See it right here. See if you can get that. Okay. But yes, I'll be reviewing The Thief and the Cobbler today. And this version is actually the Miramax version. There's actually a Cobbler version out there that I haven't seen yet, but I'll be reviewing the Cobbler version in another video, just so we can see the difference between the two cuts, the Miramax cut and the Cobbler version. But this version focuses on the Miramax version. So before I get into my thoughts about this movie, I would like to remind everyone that new videos will be posted up every Sunday. It can be Sunday morning, Sunday night, or Sunday evening, depending on when I can get the videos posted up. And if you happen to see any videos posted up during the week, that must mean there was a bit of anime news released during the week that we wanted to cover. So those would be considered special videos. And every Monday we have the top 15 animated facts series. We go over 15 facts of an animated series that was suggested by the viewers. So those would be posted up every Monday. So let's get into this movie review of The Thief and the Cobbler. So what happens in this movie is that it starts off with a young cobbler named Tack, who's poor, but does his business as a cobbler. And the movie begins with him accidentally getting in trouble with Zigzag, who's one of the king's viziers, and who's also voiced by Vincent Price. And Tack ends up getting thrown into jail at the beginning of the movie, and then he escapes from jail. But then along the way he ends up falling in love with Princess Yum Yum, the king's daughter, and she ends up falling for him too. But then throughout the movie, the three balls that are on the minaret, the three balls that are like on top of the palace's minaret, the thief of the film ends up stealing the three balls, and it turns out that if the balls are ever stolen or something happens to the balls, then One Eye's army, the One Eye's the main antagonist of this film, then his army would come in and invade the kingdom. So now Princess Yum Yum and Tack had to go on a journey to get the balls back, or else One Eye and his army will come and conquer the kingdom. And that's basically what this movie is all about. So what are my thoughts about this movie? I really enjoyed this movie. I am upset that this movie's not well known. But I was also interested about the history of this film. It was like one of the longest running films that was in development for a long time, like over 30 years, I believe. And they just now released the movie in the 90s when it was in development since the 1960s. And it's kind of a sad story too behind it, because Richard Williams was trying to make this the best movie ever, but then he lost the rights to the film, and it got published in the 1990s, and it wasn't the film that he quite wanted, and so that's why there's a recallable version out there that actually has the original cuts of this film, but I haven't seen that yet, so I'm not sure what's exactly going on in the recallable version. But let's talk about the Miramax version and what I thought about that first. But I did enjoy the Miramax version, even though it's not technically the original version of the film. I like the animation of the film. Like, I like how surreal the animation could get. Like, if you look at all the designs of the buildings, it's done in such a surreal way that you're wondering to yourself, what is going on here? But that's what I liked about the film. Like, I like the surreal imagery going on in this film. I like the surreal look of the characters themselves. It really makes this movie really stand out to me, especially as somebody who loves surreal animation. And I think this film was a really good does a really good job with surreal animation. And I also like a lot of the characters. Like, I like Tack as the main character because he's that type of character you don't see a lot in a lot of movies. Like, he's very shy, he's very quiet, so he doesn't talk a lot in the movie. But that's what I really like about his character, because it makes him so unique as a character. And I really like his relationship with Princess Yum Yum. Yo, I like how he and Princess Yum Yum fall in love with each other, and they go on this journey together to retrieve the golden balls from One Eye, or wherever the balls went to. And I also liked the Arabian influences in this film. Like, it gives the film a more foreign feel, or a more distinct feel, and that's what I've really enjoyed about this movie. So there were some things I didn't like about this movie. The main thing I didn't like about this particular version of the movie was that it seems like Tack is like narrating over everything, and there are some scenes where he tells the viewers what's going on in the scene, and you're like, well, isn't the animation telling us what's going on in the scene? Do you have to tell us what's going on when we could have seen it ourselves through the animation? So those are one of the biggest issues I had with the film, was the fact that Tack is like narrating over everything in the film. And I feel like, he could just, there's some moments that you don't really need a narration in the scene, let the animation narrate the story to the audience. I always say. So yeah, that's one of my biggest issues with this film. Another issue I did have with this film was that I wish that the characters were better developed. Like, I felt like we didn't know a lot about all the characters, like especially with One Eye himself. We don't know much about his character. He just seems like a stereotypical villain who's out to take over the kingdom. So we don't know much about his backstory or anything like that. And I also felt like Princess Yum Yum doesn't get a lot of character development in this film either. Like, I understand that she's one of those characters or one of those princesses who's like, I want to go out and do something for the world, and that's fine. But I felt like the film didn't really focus enough on that, and I would have liked to see more from her side of the story about how she feels about going on this journey to try to retrieve the golden balls herself. Which I will admit, that's a very positive thing about this movie. Is that she actually goes out herself and tries to get the golden balls, and I like that aspect of the film. But I wish that they develop her character a little more. And the same thing with the thief. I wish they develop his character a little more. Like, he's also another character who's very quiet throughout most of the film, and he doesn't really talk a lot. But I felt like, I want to know more about the thief himself. How he got into the picture, and how he became a thief and everything. So I felt like, they could have developed his character a little more, and not be that, like, opposite side to Tack, who's like all good hearted and stuff, and the thief is like stealing things. So they would have, if the it would have been pretty interesting if the movie had a little parallel between the two of them, and we would have seen the situation for both of their points of view. So I would have liked it if the movie did something like that. In regards to the thief and the cobbler. So overall, I really enjoyed the thief and the cobbler. Again, I'm really upset that this film wasn't well known. And again, I heard about the sad story about the production promise that went with this film, and it took 30 years just to make this film. But overall, it was a really great version of the film. I will be checking out the Recobble version pretty soon, just to see how it differs from the Miramax version, and see if it's better or worse than the Miramax version. So I am interested to see the Recobble version. But overall, I have really enjoyed the Miramax version. I hope to see this movie again. So tell me in the comments below, which version of the Thief and the Cobbler have you seen? Have you seen the Miramax version? Have you seen the Recobble version? And which version of those did you like the best? Please let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to follow me on Twitter so I can keep you updated any new videos I post up. And also, like our Facebook page, and also support us through Patreon so we can continue to put out great videos for this channel. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. This is Rowdy's Wall Animation Bliss, and I'll see you later.